Hello YouTube, my name is rhianaB and welcome back to another episode of my Survivor Review. So we start off with hunger really setting in for a lot of the contestants. You know, we're about halfway through the whole game and the hunger really starts to set in, thirst starts to set in, fatigue and all those sort of things are setting in. So, I mean, it's understandable that they feel that way. And also this leads into Desiree talking about her homelessness and how the hunger doesn't affect her nearly as much as it does to everyone else because she's gone through that before. And this also does a little bit of foreshadowing that Desiree is going to be a main instigator in this episode. And this leads to her wanting to join up with old Malolo to take out old NAVITI because she feels like she's been on the bottom of NAVITI, which in a way that is true because I feel like on the top of the NAVITI alliance, it's Dom, it's Wendell, Kellen's up there, but then everyone else like Sebastian, Chelsea, Angela, and Desiree, they're kind of like on, it's like the three of them are at the top, they're the top part of the glacier, and then everyone else is like the bottom part of the glacier. So I understand her desire to make a big move. However, a part of this conversation is Laurel, who has worked with Dom and Wendell in the past, and she's very back and forth on her her alliances and whatnot. So she does have to make a decision on who she's going to work with. But before we find that out, we move on to the reward challenge, and the winners are Michael, Sebastian, Kellen, Jenna, and Chelsea. They go to Rocks to pick someone to go to Ghost Island, and it ends up being Angela. So on the reward, Michael starts talking to everyone else. Since Jenna's there as well, she can put in her forefront that maybe they can use Malolo as voting blocks, a way if someone needs to make a big move, da-da-da-da-da. Now, obviously, Kellen's not going to budge, since, like I mentioned before, she's like the top 3 of the NAVITI alliance. I think Chelsea gave it some thought, but I don't think she would follow through with it. But I do think Sebastian would probably be the most likely to flip because he has expressed in past episodes that he never really fit in with the NAVITI group. So maybe this could give him some incentive on like, oh, maybe I should make a big move and jump to the other side. Da, 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 da. But that's something we'll have to wait for another day. On to Ghost Island. First off, why does Angela always look like she's pissed off? I feel like ever since last episode when she had her epiphany, that she always just has this look of like resting bitch face. I don't know if that's just how she looks, but she looks very pissed off, or maybe just the camera seems to catch it. I don't know. Other than that, she does go to Ghost Island, she does play the game of chance, and out of her choices, she ends up picking the one that says no vote. So she wasted, I shouldn't say wasted, she took a chance and it did not pan out for her. Back at camp, we have Donathan talking to Laurel, who are one of the main duos of the season, and they're talking, and Donathan is very open to the idea of working with Desiree. However, Laurel isn't, and I think because she's still semi-loyal to Dom and Wendell, and because of this, she goes to Dom, tells him that Desiree plans to attack NAVITI, and I guess in very much like Tony, I think I've called him Tony and Ben 2.0 a couple of times, but this is a total Tony move, being that the minute someone tells him any sort of information about his alliance, he starts getting paranoid. So he automatically goes to Kellen, tells Kellen about this, and she is pissed off. She goes on this thing saying, you know, these girls would never stab me in the back. How would they even do this? We've been together since the beginning. And I'm like, girl, this is Survivor. You know, this is a game about deceiving, backstabbing, all those things. So the fact that you are this pissed off at your alliance because they have an idea of maybe deserting you, like, I understand if you're upset because it could ruin your game, but she took it like super personal. The way I read it, it's like she took it it just bothers me that Kellen just bleeds NAVITI purple, that it's just like, girl, it's a game about betrayal. Don't take this stuff so personally. I mean, this is one of the main reasons why Kellen is not my favorite contestant this season. Not at all. So while NAVITI is in the process of partially blowing up from the inside out, we've got Michael and Donathan who go searching for an idol. Donathan finds an idol, but there's a twist. Turns out that idol does not have any power because it is one half of the idols that was used in Korong, which was the second Brain Brawn Beauty, and it was Scott's idol that he found. But for it to become an actual idol, they have to find the missing half of the idol that belonged to Tai in the same season, because in that season, there were 2 idols that could be played as regular hidden immunity idols, but if they were combined together, that would create a super idol. And on the night that Scott got the most votes, he asked Tai, hey, we need to do this to save my ass, and Tai didn't do it, so Scott ends up going home. And the thing is, the other half of that idol, it's hidden under the shelter, which is not the first time Survivor has done this, but it makes it very tricky, especially for someone like Donathan, who tends to, I feel like he gets down on himself quite a bit. I don't know if he thought, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can, like, discreetly try to find this idol. So a lot of Malolo comes over and sits around him, and then he has no choice but to be like, look, there's an idol underneath the shelter, we need to, like, get to it. So Jenna goes and tries to take some people away. Michael and Laurel are left over, and they kind of block the view. They end up finding it, so Donathan at this point does have a full hidden immunity idol. So how he's gonna work with that, we'll have to wait and see, but now we got a new idol on the playing field. Moving on to the reward challenge, which actually went rather quickly. Also, if anyone can remind me of when this challenge was last used, because I honestly don't remember, because it has to be from a more recent season. I don't remember when this challenge was last used, so if any of you guys know, leave some comments to let me know. But it went rather quickly. A lot of people were falling out of it fairly fast, but we did have a winner, and it was Chelsea, surprisingly. One of the few things that is actually going to go on her resume. She did win 1 immunity, so there's that. And then on the chopping block, we have Michael and we have Desiree. So the whole scrambling is still continuing here, with Kellen basically not wanting to believe that Des would flip, only because she thinks that Dom is more paranoid, because at this point she hasn't talked to Des or anybody else except for Dom. So obviously Kellen talks to her and Chelsea, and obviously Des is not happy, because her plan literally just explodes in her face. She finds out that Laurel is the one who spilled the beans to Dom, and there it just kind of implodes. She basically confronts Laurel in front of everyone, changes her story when Wendell is doing laundry in the background or whatever, and it just turns into this big he said, she said situation. Now, we obviously know that Des is lying when she's saying, like, she never planned this, da-da-da-da-da. It's like Laurel's way of getting the target off of her, all those sort of a thing. And because of all this drama, this leads to Dom now talking to Michael and being like, oh, hey, maybe this could be my backup plan. Which, again, goes back to Tony, because he did almost the exact same thing in Cagayan. Whenever his alliance was kind of doing crazy stuff, he would go and talk to the other alliance, which was, at the time, it was like Jeremiah, it was Spencer, it was Tasha. Talk to them and be like, we can pull something out of our ass here, because everything else is just going crazy. And the one quote of the episode that made me very upset, and it basically could have possibly just ruined her game. Kellen goes to Dom and she says, we have been folding for you, and we say tonight, this is who we want gone. We want Michael gone now. She's just like, her attitude just rubbed me the wrong way. And also, why would you admit that you've been folding for Dom and Wendell? Why would you say that? Because in his mind, that's going to be like, oh, you have been loyal, but now you're like in the incentive that you want to do something. And that could possibly ruin Kellen's game. That one quote, if it does play up, that could be the worst mistake she's made. And I just hated that quote. She literally just wrecked a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna go and move. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, and we'll find out later. Hopefully in the season. Anyway, move on to Tribal Council. Des is really owning the fact that she did not create the story. She was like selling this lie so hard. And of course to us, it's obvious that that's not how it happened. But also now, old Malolo's like, this is what you said, da-da-da-da. And of course they're gonna save themselves and gonna be like, no, this is what Des said. She lied to you, now she's trying to lie to all of us, let's get her out. And again, that's just, my opinion was that Des should have owned the fact that she made a mistake, and that way she should have gotten some sympathy from her alliance. That could have at least gotten her semi on good terms, and she could have been like, guys, I'm trying to make a big move. Maybe it was stupid of me. I mean, it's worked for other people in the past. But nope, she ends up trying to sell it. We get to the vote, and though Michael did get votes, it ends up being Desiree. Desiree is the next person voted off of Survivor Ghost Island, and she becomes the 3rd member of the jury. So a lot of drama happening tonight. It's kind of just insane about where this is going to lead to now, because now I think this is the episode that's going to mark where the rest of the season is going to go. Because now NAVITI is starting to slightly fall apart. We have Laurel playing both sides, and she's kind of with Malolo. Yes, she's still semi-loyal to Dom and Wendell, who are the leaders of NAVITI. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. Speaking of that, we've got a big twist next week, and that is 2 people are going to be eliminated next week. I think that's only been done like 1 or 2 times. The one I remember is the one from Cook Islands, where there was like a message in a bottle, and after the one tribe eliminated one person, they read the bottle and it said that they have to vote out someone else. That is the only time that I can recall that they have done that, where they eliminate 2 people in the same night. So this time it's out in the open, which is going to make things very, very interesting. And also, because also they could be like, you know what, maybe we can get rid of someone who doesn't deserve to be in NAVITI, but we can also get out Malolo. So for that situation, that's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. However, Malolo could also be like, you need to get rid of 2 NAVITI. That one will be a little harder to execute, but it is a possibility. So a lot of different things can happen here. So before I trail off on that, let's talk about chopping block. Michael is still going to be target number 1. He has been for the past couple weeks. I think he got lucky this week, because if Dez had not blown up, then I think he would have probably gone home that night. So he's got to keep playing strong, strong, and strong. Hopefully he can get on good terms with some other people. Other than that, I feel like Kellen could be in trouble, only because she's probably going to be like, I feel like she's going to be a little bit out of place after this last vote. But again, I don't know. Other than that, possibly Laurel, if she chooses to, you know, not pick a side, because that has hurt people in the past. But I think, honestly, that's all I've got. There's a lot of stuff going on. So on that note, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below. What did you think of this crazy episode? And if you want to see my future videos or videos I've already done, go ahead, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you can be notified when my videos come out. That's all I have for you guys today, and until the next video, bye! Mwah.